One of the biggest mistakes that I see people make is using their 401k as a piggy bank. Building up my own 401k was one of the main reasons I was able to cross $800,000 in net worth after paying off $43,000 worth of debt. So today, let's react to some viral TikTok videos and see how everyday people are using their 401ks, from the financial disasters to maybe things that you could convince me make sense to do.
It is a very bad day to be a 401k in Trump's economy. So with all of this shit going on, I saw it coming when he was doing the initial tariff dance with his tiny little hands. I took out a loan against my 401k, paid off a bunch of high interest credit cards, and booked myself a trip for 6 to 12 weeks abroad. I feel great. I also took out a couple extra thousand and put that into a high yield savings account. So I am earning there while my 401k is dropping. And unlike a personal loan, you don't have to pay the bank back. You pay yourself back plus 8% interest, as opposed to like the 30% interest on credit cards or the 15% interest on a personal loan through fucking Credit Karma or whatever. So that's what I did. I feel so much better not having any fucking credit card debt, and now I have less money to lose in the 401k. So I think that's something everyone should do. Also, Airheads, best candy on earth. So
I don't know about that.
Get yourself an Airhead too while you're at it. You can afford it.
All right, so first of all, what do you guys think? Is she right? Airheads, best candy on earth? Definitely not, probably not. I really love the confidence in her message there. That was great. Couple things. One, she's trying to justify taking the 401k out. She's like, oh, paid off credit card, which, okay, maybe. Did a vacation. Oh, and I'm putting it in a high yield savings account. She's trying to justify it, right? Which, again, okay, if that makes it easier for you, that's fine. And the way she was trying to justify it was like, oh, but I'm earning money in the high yield savings as the 401k goes down. And technically that's not wrong. The high yield savings account will have interest. Right now it's like 3-4%, something like that. That is correct. Typically when you're investing, that's more of a saving. The best way to save, probably, high yield savings account. But when you're investing in a 401k, that investment is largely going to be higher. And I think this video was recorded during all the tariff stuff that was going on. So understandably, people were a little concerned when the market just crashed and everything like that. But the question you have to ask yourself is, if you're putting money into a retirement asset, like a 401k, like a Roth IRA, even some sort of brokerage account where you're like, I am doing this for the long term, you have to really ask yourself, if the shit hits the fan, am I going to keep it in here, or am I going to need to pull it out of like fear of something happening? Because that's a real conversation, because the whole point of putting it in there is so that it can do its work and compound. Compounding, it's the eighth wonder of the world, right? That's what everyone says. However, when we stop that or slow it down, it doesn't really become as effective. So when we pull it out, okay, paying off credit card debt, don't love it, but at least it's like it's something. The vacation, okay, and the high yield savings. So like, in my opinion, I'd much rather see people just keep it in there, especially if you kind of just, gave yourself a verbal word of like, hey, this is something that I'm looking to do for the future.
I'm filing for bankruptcy, and I don't think that this is going to financially ruin me as much as withdrawing from my 401k did. When I got laid off 3 years ago, I made the stupid decision to withdraw almost the entire balance of my 401k, which I had spent most of my 20s building. And for me to undo that mistake, I would have to have $30,000 magically appear. And as the years go on, that number goes up because of all of the money that it would have made itself. And it's embarrassing to admit stuff like this and to talk about the dumbest thing I've ever done with money. But I do it to be a cautionary tale so that people don't have to go through what I've gone through to learn the hard way like I did.
A great story to share. Thank you for that. And it's crazy that she said, I have been bankrupt, or I'm filing for bankruptcy, and this other thing that I did with my 401k is going to cripple me more financially. That just tells you the power of it. And again, she put a tangible number on that thing. $30,000 is what she probably would have had right now, and however old she is. And if she keeps holding on to that for years and years and years and years, like she mentioned, it's just going to keep getting higher and higher. It's going to be really hard to kind of catch up to that point. And I understand the burden that sometimes you feel like in your finances, like, oh, I'm stuck. I have this money sitting over here. It's just going to help me. But at the end of the day, if the problem that we solve isn't the core problem, which is like, I don't know where my money's going, I don't maybe even make enough. We have to solve the core problems first before we can sort of reach for this other emergency break glass in case of emergency kind of a situation. Because I see it too often where people will just quit too soon into like figuring out what the hell is going on and how to solve it, because there are solvable ways. There is a proven system of what to do with your finances. Many, many people before us have solved this problem, and many, many more people behind us will continue to do it this way. So I just think instead of just the easy way out, I think sometimes we have to look a little inward and say, like, what can I do right now to help kind of make this happen?
Because what's going on in today is causing you financial hardship. Taking money out your 401k does not make you financially illiterate. Don't let nobody tell you that. Come on and sip a little tea with Auntie. Let's talk about it. Your 401k is set up for your retirement, but you think about it. In this day and time, if the cost of gas, the cost of groceries, or anything else is costing you
I love her passion.
financial hardship, why not utilize your own money? Now, a hardship, I have to break this down, is when you are going through hard times. Something unforeseen happened, and you now need to pull money out your 401k to place yourself in a better position. That means to permanently take your money out your 401k. It is not advised for you to permanently take no money out, but there's a difference. There's something that you call a 401k loan, which, depending on where you work, you can take multiple of those loans out a year. What is a 401k loan?
Please don't
You
take
take
multiple.
a loan out for the amount that you need to relieve yourself of some troubling times that you may be having, and you pay yourself back per paycheck. For an example, you need $1,000 today. You don't want to have to borrow nothing from nobody or borrow from a loan company to where it's going to put extra money coming out your paycheck every time. You know, big old amount. You got to pay a big amount back. Payday loan, you got to pay the whole amount back, or you got to pay $300 and some dollars back every time you get your paycheck. No. Utilize that 401k loan to where you can break it down on how many payments you want to pay. Say you want to stretch it over 24-month period, so where you ain't got no but $23 coming out your paycheck every time. $23 is better than that $300 and some dollars having to pay it all back at one time. And then the catch 22 is you're not paying nobody else back. If it came out of your 401k as a loan, you pay yourself back. You are the lender. It's your money. You're the lender. So you're taking money from yourself, but you're also paying yourself back. And before y'all get to holler about, what about the financial gains and losses? You still will make gains and losses, because you're not going to remove all your money out your 401k. You're going to take a small portion, $1,000 loan, $1,500 loan, $2,000 loan, whatever you need to place yourself in a better position.
Okay, got it. I love the passion. She obviously believes that this is the correct path. So who am I to question it? But at the end of the day, she mentioned it towards the end there. You wouldn't take out the whole amount. Of course not. But then she mentioned like $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. I feel like those small amounts specifically, like we shouldn't be at a point where we even need $1,000. And I know maybe some of you are watching like, oh, but $1,000 would change my life. Maybe, but also $1,000 is not a lot. So we need to be setting ourselves up with a proper structure. And I know the reason why people dip into the 401k loan is maybe because they feel like they don't have that structure. So the first thing you do is let's work on getting an emergency fund. Look back the last 6, 9, 12 months, whatever, and just sort of think, what was the biggest expense that came out of nowhere and maybe disrupted my family's life financially? Take that number, could be $1,000, could be $2,000, could be $2,500, whatever the thing is, and start building an emergency fund up to that point. Because that's your break glass in case of an emergency. Not like your future. Because I think, here's the thing, like, people see this money sitting in an account and they're like, oh my God, I need this. But they just don't realize the power of compounding because they haven't really seen it happen. There was a famous investor who passed away recently, Charlie Munger, and he was quoted with saying that the first $100,000 is a bitch. And what he means by that is like the first $100,000 of any sort of, saving, investing vehicle, it's basically just you putting in like basically $100,000 because the compounding doesn't really happen right away. And to show you what I mean, I can just go to a simple compounding interest calculator here. Here we go. So if we were to put, let's say we had initial deposit, we're starting from zero, okay? And in like 5 years growth, we have a conservative rate of return of 8%, and we're contributing, let's just say $250 a month. So in 5 years, we've contributed $15,000 and the interest is $3,300. That's not that exciting, right? You'd probably look at that and not even think that anything was working, right? You're like, oh, what the hell? But if we do the same amount of contribution, and now $10, now you can start to see the curve of the green line. Let me just go back. You can see the curve here for 5 years, and then we look at 10 years, and this curve, this green line, shifts because the compounding is starting to be more impactful. So now we've contributed $30,000 and the total interest is $15,000. Now that's pretty interesting, right? That's pretty interesting. After 10 years, okay, the interest you've accrued is basically half of what you've put in. If we keep doing this, you'll see like that line's going to shift again, and it's even more significant. So now we've surpassed our principal. So we've invested $60,000 and our interest is $87,000, right? And you can do this all the way up. Most of the people that are making these videos are in their 30s or 40s. So let's just say you have 30 years and then boom, like obviously $372,000 isn't enough for like retirement in 30 years, right? But you get the point. Like the longer you put this in and hold on to it, the more powerful it becomes. People are bailing out down here when it's like barely anything's working. And that to me is the most frustrating part because they haven't been able to see it with their own eyes to believe it.
I think the only thing I regret in my life was cashing out my 401k to throw myself a birthday party. Like that was dumb. I didn't need to do that. I think the only thing I regret in my life was cashing out my 401k to throw myself a birthday party.
What are we doing? Birthday party? You're an adult, sir. You're an adult. I have nothing to say about that one, but if you want to see more of these TikTok reaction videos, this lady here paid off all of her credit card debt by taking out her 401k. If you want to check this one out, feel free.